up, everyone? It's me, Steph, the Alternerd, your nerdy alternative, and I am joined live with Andy from
What's up?
Vegas.
And Jody and Lewis. We're all here.
And Lewis.
We're here
and
live,
Live
in Vegas
guys.
from Caesar's Palace, and we just left CinemaCon, and they just had the Warner Brothers panel. And yeah, I got exclusive update for you regarding Aquaman.
Take away, Andy. You've got the full screen, my friend.
All right, so I'm here with Joe. We're gonna do a full Warner Brothers panel on everything they did. Oh, look, we got Transformers here, guys. Woo! Oh my God, it's crazy here in Vegas. I'm gonna go buy the Transformers real quick. We have damn, those are cool. All right, we're gonna do a full breakdown of the Warner Brothers panel over on Movie World in a little bit. We're going to the room to do a proper one so my internet works. But we're seeing The Flash later this afternoon. They showed us the new trailer, which I think just dropped. But I'm here to break this Aquaman news. Steph, I don't know if you read. Do you think they mentioned or showed Amber in any of the Aquaman stuff? I want to get your guesses before I even tell you.
I hope not. That's what I hope. However, everything I've heard indicates that she's still in this movie, even for like a minute right at the beginning. So,
well, I am sad to announce that yes, she's in the trailer. She's in the trailer twice, very quickly. However, they completely shaded her multiple times on stage. So let me rewind. They also shaded Johnny. Remind me to tell you that before we go. So Aquaman was the first presentation they gave in the DC part. They showed us Aquaman, they showed us Blue Beetle, and they talked about Flash. And they're going to show us the Flash in full. They also talked about Ezra and hyped Ezra up a lot. But focusing on the Amber news, she's not cut out. She's definitely in the movie. We've already known this. However, it's very clear she's very small in it, so take that as you will. But there were two shots of the trailer that they used her in, very like in a montage of her like swimming. Jody, it was only two, right? There was like one. Well, I thought the other was Nicole Kidman. There was one shot with a girl in white that I saw, which was they showed Nicole Kidman a bunch, and then I guess he saw a third, maybe. Yeah. I saw two, but they were very quick, like actiony shots.
But you saw her. They made sure that you saw Amber was in this movie.
She's not. But what was interesting is when the panel started, they're like Jason, both James Wan and Jason made a point to not mention her by name.
They did mention her.
No one mentioned her by name on stage. Peter Safran did this presentation. Amber Heard's name was never mentioned.
Yeah.
But they showed a few clips. It was almost like they were trying to play it both ways, and they're like not making it a big deal. But there was a point where I would say they did shade her a bit because like we returned the whole cast: Jason Momoa, Patrick Wilson, Yaya, and they did not mention her by name. So it was. Would you all agree that it was?
Yeah, it definitely seemed like shading, unless we have her on our mind somehow. But yeah, it was definitely shading. It was like crickets. Like everyone's just waiting for like. AH, and it just didn't happen.
They didn't say it, so I was hopeful. I was like, oh man, they're gonna totally ignore her. But then the trailer did show a few shots, and as we've exclusively reported here at Popcorn Planet, that's because she's an integral part, because they have a spoiler alert. They have a baby, and the trailer shows the baby. We were right. Jason Momoa holds up the baby like, as a father, he's getting advice, and he's talking to, I guess, who was the guy? His father?
Yeah, that's
I remember these characters.
That's actually Boba Fett. Tim Morrison.
Was he in the first Aquaman?
Yeah, he's actually the best part. Him and the
right. Okay, yeah, with Nicole. Right,
yeah, with Nicole Kidman.
With his father. Right. I'm sorry. I'm not Aquaman movie lore was not that big, but he's getting advice from him, and then the movie fast forwards and shows you like the action. And like the movie itself, take Amber out of it, like it looked like a big dumb sequel.
It looks all right. I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't a fan of the first film without the situation with.
It looks like the first film, but bigger and more like effects and just like a bigger version of the first film. So it'll probably do well. Sadly, is my prediction. But they did have a couple shots of her in the green. It looked like they were shots from the first movie, I would say.
Correct. It looked heavily CGI'd, and if you blink, you miss her.
So it wasn't like huge, but she's in it. So she was in it. The bigger shade to me was from Timothée Chalamet when they brought out Wonka. They did a Wonka presentation. We're going to talk about Wonka. We saw a lot of Wonka. He made a point to say, like, you know, it was at this film's out of respect. It's a prequel to the Wonka films. But then he's like, he only called out Jane Wilder. And I did notice he did not. And I know he really likes the respect step, even though some would, even myself included, would say Wilder is the definitive Wonka. I did feel like he could have at least mentioned Johnny and Gene, and he chose to only mention Gene. So take that as you will as well. But overall, like we'll talk more about the panels and what we saw, there was more stuff to talk about. Ezra was mentioned a lot. The Andy Muschietti misgendered him a few times.
That was so uncomfortable. He was out there calling it. First he called him they.
Yes.
And then he said he is they.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Can I add something to that? I don't want to be a jerk or anything, but Andy Muschietti, he's Argentinian, and like saying they is grammatically incorrect. I'm cool with making up another name, and I don't mind calling them they, but if I make a mistake and people want to get pissed off at me, fuck you, don't hang around with me. Because he honestly he felt bad. You could tell in his face. He was like,
no shade. No shade to
yeah.
Andy at Muschietti.
Correct. Ezra Miller's a he. I believe in science, but if he wants to be called they, I respect them and I will call them they. But if I make a mistake like that, bro.
Well, and that's the problem. Ezra's been again. This is the big Ezra problem. Ezra's made a whole point with the police getting mad at them when they've misgent. So it's like, it's just a landmine. So anyway, we'll talk more about the Ezra of it all. We're gonna see the Flash. We're seeing the Flash.
I can't wait.
Oh my God, we saw the bigger
So
trailer.
excited.
We'll talk about the Warner Brothers part. I got thoughts, and we'll talk more about Aquaman. We got lots more, so we're headed over the room to talk about it with Movie World to give you the full rundown. But I wanted to give you guys the breaking Amber because I know a lot of the audience is curious. Is she in it? Are they gonna use her? She's in it seems, and she's in the trailer. Now, felt like an extended trailer, so I don't think they released anything, Steph. I don't know if they did, because we had our phones off in the thing. Maybe they will. I suspect they're saving this trailer for when the Flash comes out theatrically.
Yeah.
This will be a theater.
Well,
The Flash one dropped. The new Flash show just dropped, but I don't think the Aquaman one. I don't know.
No, I think that's probably.
I think they're holding up, and this one felt like an extended trailer for sure. It didn't feel like the one they're going to show. So who knows if she'll make it into the other ones, but it was definitely, they wanted to tell the theater, because again, CinemaCon's for the theater exhibitors, like the chains, the people behind the movies, like that give you the movies in the theaters. And they clearly wanted to tell them, yeah, Amber's in it too. But they never said it specifically.
No.
It was like the best of both worlds. Like, we didn't cut her. She's here for Mera fans, but we're not going to acknowledge her at all.
I could easily confuse her with Nicole Kidman. There was a few times I had to because it's kind of like it's animated. It's very CGI heavy. So there you go with that. But she is in the film.
She's in the film, but we are more. And here it is. I'm here with Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal. Look at this. And I don't know who the new one is, but we have Caesar's Pal. I don't know if you can see him, Steph. Caesar Transformers here at Caesar's. If you want more of our movie coverage with Jody and Lewis and myself, head on over to Movie World. Hopefully, we'll put an annotation to get you there. But there's the point. Any thoughts, Steph? Response to that? Are you surprised?
Well, as we wrap up this breaking news, guys, and we're going to be uploading it separately on Popcorn Planet. So if you're in the live and you're watching it right now, please watch it again. Give it some love. But I'm surprised that she's in it. I really, really hoped in my heart that they would have listened to the millions that have signed that petition and completely edited her out. We would have been happy that all of a sudden the baby arrived, they explained a little bit of exposition that Mera had given birth, here's the baby, and that's it, right? I would have been happy with that. Right? They could have easily have done that given the circumstances, and they haven't. As far as I'm concerned, I don't need to watch Aquaman 2. I don't want to watch Aquaman 2. I suppose the only question that I've got for you guys is, given the amount that she was in the trailer, do you think it'll reflect the amount that she'll actually be in the film? Like, she was a tiny part of the trailer. She's a really, really tiny part of the film.
Judging how they treated her on that stage by not mentioning her name, she's not a big part of this film.
No,
100%, not a big part, but she's still a part of it.
She's more in it than the trailer probably led to believe, though, because unfortunately, this is a $1 billion movie, and she was probably really, really, celebrated during that time and coming off as a victim. So they probably put her in a lot.
Well, I suspect it's an intro with the baby. He goes off to battle. She's not in the movie, and then she shows up at the end. This is the vibe I got from the footage. There's clearly a big battle, and it looked like she was doing some battle scenes.
Yeah.
So it's probably like, the mother, and then at the end, she shows up in the finale. And it's, again, that would have been hard to cut out of the movie. So I do feel for Warner Brothers in a way. So it's like I'm torn. I respect the fact that they didn't do more and they didn't acknowledge her. They didn't acknowledge her, to be fair. So I give them props in that, because I don't think they want to.
They know what's up.
But at the same time, they have a very expensive $1 billion franchise. And, should we be canceling people? Personally, I think we make the decision whether you want to support the movie because she's in it,
There's a lot of other people working on the film. a lot of other people working on the film. Jason Momoa, to me, has a big heart. Every time I've met him,
it's really expensive to reshoot
directors,
these things, and it's like I think the Depp fans will just not support it, and that's their right. And I think Warner Brothers has a big movie, and it's clear like I don't think this franchise is going to go on past this movie.
I know the hype for the trial stuff and crew has gone down a lot, but I stand with my word, even though a lot of the people that were watching back then aren't watching it now. I'm not going to be watching the movie once I find out that this part, her little part, has been cut out. If they cut out the little part she's in, then I'll watch it, but I'm not going to watch the movie out of respect to all the victims. I'm going to keep my word as that, and I'm going to respectfully ask the studio who loves me I'm going to say, hey, I'm not going to sit this one out, because there were a lot of people hurt by this, and there was a lot of bad decisions, getting rid of Johnny Depp pre-trial and stuff, so there we go.
Yeah, no, I think I want to wrap it up so you can clip it, but yeah, he's right. I'm not paying for it. I may see it in a thing just so I can report on it and warn people, because I want to know how much he's in it and be educated on it, but I refuse to be a paid moviegoer for this film. I will not pay for it. I will not see it in that regard. And there you go, Steph. So yeah, that's the news at CinemaCon live here in Vegas. At Caesars, we are here with the Transformers
guys,
and the Trident.
if you want more, then make sure you are subscribed to Movie World Plus. You can see it on the screen right now. Do not go anywhere, because you will automatically, after this stream, be ported over. We will be raiding Movie World Plus's next stream that should be happening when? What, in the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Yeah, we're going to take about 10 minutes to get to that room, and then we'll start it up and hopefully good to go. 10, 15 minutes. So if you can stall for us, I'll message you when we're ready to go.
So stay exactly where you are, because in 10, 15 minutes, we'll be ending this stream, and you guys will be raiding Movie World Plus. They're going to spill
and if you're watching on the replay,
tea.
Yeah, on the replay, if you're watching, just head on over to Movie World. We have a bunch of coverage of CinemaCon. It's been a lot of fun talking with the gang. So thank you, Steph. Thank you, everybody. Subscribe.
Thank you,
subscribe
Andy.
to Steph.
See you
Subscribe
soon,
to
my
Liz.
friends.
Subscribe to Jody.
Bye, Jody.